The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Brought to you by Nadex. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Tom and Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. Tommy O'Brien with Tom O'Brien. We got markets in green territory to start off Tuesday trading. Dow Jones positive by 43 points. S&P is currently positive by 7. And NASDAQ leading the way up as it led the way down. NASDAQ positive 33 points so far this morning. Good morning, Tom.
Hello, Tommy. How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Good, man. Good.
So quite a turnaround Tuesday. That's the phrase people like to say. But, man, different world. You wake up on Tuesday morning. Markets, forget about trade wars, man. Nothing to see here. Green territory all over the place, right?
Well, green territory, but it's going to have to do a lot better than this.
Yeah. No, for sure.
3
Marginal.
points. You know, something that is doing a lot better than this, and I was just talking with our man Kevin Hinks, and we're going to put him on right now. We were talking over in the TT Ameritrade Network, is GE.
Yes.
Kevin Hinks, what's going on?
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Tom and Tommy. Yeah, how about GE up almost 8% today? Here's my question, Tom. Do you think that maybe Mr. Flannery, who's running GE right now, waited to make this announcement till the day after they're out of the Dow? And if he did, that shows a nice little competitiveness that I kind of like in him.
You know, Tommy, we were just on the TD network, and Kevin and I were talking about GE, and there's no doubt, you know what it seems like, right? You know, we were talking about the aspect, okay, it's hard to know what the numbers are in GE. You know, right. They have legacy issues out there, there's no doubt. But selling off the oil now instead of 2 years ago, that's when you're like banking on, okay, I like what the guy's doing. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's been there a long time, but in order to get your hands wrapped around GE, it's got to be hard in itself, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, if you get the right leader, guess what? He might be able to take him out of this, man.
Exactly right, Tom. Think about the difference between selling Baker Hughes GE now versus selling it a year ago.
It's huge.
Think about the strong hands and the money that he put on GE's balance sheet by waiting a year, letting the dust settle, letting oil recover, and then riding this out until the end here, and then doing it. I'm sure here's the numbers that we know about. The shareholders are going to receive 80% of the value of GE Healthcare as a tax-free distribution. Number two, they're reducing debt, industrial debt, by $25 billion. And they're building up $15 billion in cash. So they're going to use some of that money to further shrink down GE Capital. I mean, overall, he's made his balance sheet look a lot better by this move.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. And, you know, you were in the position, like when you were the option market maker there, so you saw GE actually rise and turn into a conglomerate, right?
Sure, of course.
Yeah, interesting.
Right. I mean, the best thing I ever read about GE, Tom, in the late 90s, right around 2000, the big the popular thing then was to spin off companies, much like they're doing right now. But Jack Welch was the CEO then. And when they asked him, what are you spinning off, Jack Welch's response was, and it was one of my favorite things I've ever read, he goes, we're spinning off cash. That's what we do.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
So that's the difference between what was going on then and what's going on now. Make no mistake, if you are not in jet engines, power, or renewable energy, Tom and Tommy, you're not going to be part of GE's future, at least not right now.
Yeah, and I have these numbers up right now, so it's pretty interesting. In 2017, in power, they did $34 billion, aviation, $27, and healthcare, which they're moving out, right, is $19, and oil and gas is $17. So it's pretty. That's something. They're almost cutting their balance sheet in half. There,
and how about it's pretty cool when you have an other category that comes in at $24 billion, as in there's just so much going on. That's pretty remarkable.
That is, man. What is the other, right?
And the other one's the one that's sinking 9%. So I bet that is what they're trying to sell off in terms of 3-year growth. You have annualized down at $24 billion in revenues. shrinking at 10% a year, yeah, they're going to probably sell those off. Why not?
Yeah, no doubt.
So anyway, at least as we know it right now, not a bad day for GE, and having a nice little day. About 7.5% as I look here, about 96 cents.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, Tom, that I heard the same thing, in terms of like day after they leave the Dow, they announce what is the market just loves. And you had to think that they were just keeping that in their back pocket in terms of negative press, of course, leaving the Dow. They knew that was coming. And then guess what? They're going to give investors that stayed with them a little boost the day after. That didn't take long.
No,
right.
listen,
we don't know for sure, right, if the timing just set up or not. But if it did, if he waited to make this announcement, I like the competitiveness of this guy, if that's the case.
Yeah, I agree, man. The more I was thinking about it, it's like, okay, man, because, GE is a huge hedge fund. And bottom line is that if you're running a hedge fund, well, guess what? He just made a nice trade. That's my take on it anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, if you can balance that out until he has a cash flow company back, GE's GE. We'll see where this shakes out. We're probably right in the middle of the story.
Right. I like the fact that it looks like, as of right now, guys, the E-minis, NASDAQ, the Dow futures, and the Russell, all up a little bit here, up holding in the green here. That's always a good number. E-minis up 4.25, ticking back and forth here. So, a nice consumption and digestion of yesterday's action. And so far today, this market has taken a punch and is holding on to green here.
Yeah, and that we know. The VIX elevated very quickly once again, 1673. So it's going to be intriguing seeing, if we approach those $20 areas. That was the last high there was on the 23rd of March.
Yeah,
so
we spiked to 19-something yesterday at the peak of that market slide. So we were almost there, but man, it pulled back to 16 in no time as the market kind of popped into the close.
Yeah, and just to give your viewers a little bit of information about this, a 16 VIX equates to a 1% move in the SPX a third of the day. So
wow.
If we start settling here around 16, that's what that equates to. So now you have a measuring stick to see if that VIX is at the right level based on the market move.
I love those, Kevin. You know why? Because we're in a market right now that we can see a 1% move like in a heartbeat. The S&Ps came off 20 handles at the close when Navarro went on the TV, right? It's like, okay, 20 handles in a heartbeat. That's like pretty intense, man. There's no doubt. Pretty amazing.
Exactly right. I thought Navarro coming on the air yesterday, just trying to calm some fears, right? Just trying to tell people, just calm the markets. And I think it worked a fair amount. I think it didn't turn the market green, but it definitely, the market came back pretty significantly off the lows.
Yeah, the timing, it's amazing how basically everyone tries to move markets. We're all traders. We're all trying to move markets, right? That's the bottom line. It's pretty amazing. You gotta love it. Folks, right here, you want to understand option strategies upside down. You want to understand futures. 10 to 11 to 12 Eastern Standard Time. Kevin and his team, great program. Kevin, you have a great one, safe one. We look forward to the program in 45 minutes.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Kevin.
Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I are coming right back. We have the Dow Industrials up 56, Nasdaq's up 27, S&Ps are up 4.5. We're coming right back.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. We take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Tommy O'Brien with Tom O'Brien. We got the Dow up 71. S&P is currently positive by 10. NASDAQ positive by 38. And we got a great guest this segment. We have our man John Skelton. John works with Daryl. We've had Daryl on before from the Apex Investment Institute. John, good morning. Welcome to TFNN.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Doing great, man. Good to talk to you.
You too, man. I hadn't seen you guys in a bit.
Yeah.
Tom, I hadn't seen you since New York. Missed seeing you there, buddy.
Listen, I missed it myself. I heard you guys had a great time. New York, Big Apple, always a good time for sure. They got that great show right in Times Square. Yeah, it's great to have you on the air. I know you have a bunch of beautiful charts, which is why we don't have your beautiful face up there this morning, but we'll get you up there on video soon enough. So, John, what are you looking at in the market this morning? Tell the listeners a little bit about what you do with Daryl in terms of how you trade, how you got started, and tell us a little bit about yourself to introduce yourself to the TFNN listeners.
Absolutely, man. I've actually known Daryl for going on about 18 years now. I knew him way back in the day before either one of us were involved in the trading world, and we kind of both went our separate ways. And about 6 years ago, I'd always been interested in trading, and about 6 years ago, I was just doing a lot of research online, and I was all excited about this new thing called binary options, and was researching a bunch of stuff online and came across this guy making all these, videos about Nadex, and I said, man, wait a minute, I know this guy, I know this guy's voice, and reached out to Daryl, and I was like, hey, man, it's me, and so we started working together, and somehow it was like, hey, man, come on and help me part time, do some of this stuff with with Apex while you trade, and somehow, part-time help turned into head of operations and running the whole thing while,
Daryl. Career. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
While Daryl runs his trading and does all his rodeo stuff with his daughter. But, at we're Apex, we're all education-based, man. We've got, we've got a ton of strategies and systems and day trading systems. We love the capitalist products with Nadex. We trade them every day ourselves and every day in our trade rooms, and especially love them for days like this, man. The last few days with these big moves, you got to love that capitalist there.
Defined risk. We talk about it always, for sure. Especially when you have the Dow approaching 500 points to the negative side yesterday, right?
Yeah, no kidding, man. I mean, some of these huge moves and. But gotta love this volatility too, man. We had this craziness back. I think you guys were talking about it earlier too. The markets are back to where they were. 28th of January, kind of.
Yes,
January
right
there.
It goes quickly.
January 24th. Only took 6 hours. Right.
Yeah. We had all that craziness in February and crazy volatility. And then we kind of slowed down, and then a few weeks ago you got people like, oh man, the summer slow time is here, up, and then the market and the news gives you a little bit of surprise and gets you back some good volatility here. So it's a day trader's dream, this kind of volatility.
So I know you have some charts teed up for us, John. What do you want to get into for the listeners? What do you want to talk about? What are you looking at in the markets this week?
Well, man,
Where do we start, right? Go for it.
Yeah, where do we start, man? Things go really crazy here. We had that crazy move down, yesterday, and then towards the end of the day, we had tried to make a little bit of a comeback, and I was, been watching it this morning, overnight. Like I think we've got right now a Nasdaq chart showing, we've tried to ease back up overnight here, and then, first thing this morning we popped up, and we hadn't been able to really break much above this level here, and we had some news just pop out on us here. So.
And tell us about what we're looking at in that chart, because you have a lot going on in there, just for the people that look in that in terms of, what's marked up on there, or you got a lot of action going on in that chart.
We do, actually. Let me make it a little simpler for you here, show you yesterday. Yesterday was just beautiful, man. Yesterday was beautiful. Let me go back and kind of show you kind of how I was kind of taking advantage of yesterday here. And a lot on the chart, can be a little bit overwhelming, but just in a real quick nutshell here, what I've got here, right here in this area here, this is more of our kind of trend direction. One of our trend direction indicators here, and very easy, green and red, long and short. But right here, all these letters, and you can kind of see here we've got A, P, E, and X, kind of what we call our apex pattern. And A is kind of alert, P is pivot, E is entry, and X is when that pattern kind of completes and confirms a short trend direction. So yesterday, going with that big move in the market. It was just a day trader's dream, especially a scalper's dream. In a nutshell, what I was looking for yesterday is when my trend direction's confirming red and short, I'm basically taking trades off of every one of these, pivots, and then these P and E's, for these quick little moves down, boom, and here another P and E, little move down, and then we go right back into it, a P and E, a P and E, a P and E. So just scalping that thing the whole way down, man, just pop, 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 or you could have gotten into one of these early entries and rode the whole thing down here, taking advantage of a, longer term trade, or hopping in, a Nadex spread, for example, but when you can catch those things and, ride those moves down when everything's lining up, I mean, it was just a great move down. And then, you can kind of see later in the day, right before lunchtime, the same thing popped up. Man, we were just riding that thing down with every E entry there, just scalping it down. And then we got a little lull at lunchtime, as you see. Everybody said, hey, we're hungry now. After that great morning, had a little bit of a lunchtime lull there. And then, we had one more pop up, one more pop down, and it just started, fizzling back up here towards the end of the day, especially after some of those remarks.
Now,
so today...
Go ahead. Sorry, please.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
Well, I was just going to say, you mentioned the spreads, and I know you deal with binaries, you deal with spreads as well, but I know you do some work for Nadex, and so I have up here, I know you have a workshop going on, is that Thursday, 2 days from right now? You have a workshop for Nadex, talking about the risk and rewards for Nadex spreads?
Yep. Thursday,
Nice.
1 p.m. Eastern time.
Nice.
And, with Nadex, we're an education partner with them. We do webinars for them each week. We kind of cycle back through every few months, and start with the kind of the basics of, kind of treat you like a 5-year-old, hold your hand and walk you through it. What is a binary? How does it work?
It's important to get the basics. We talk about it a lot. That's why you can download the demo account. You get comfortable, right? Before you put your money at risk, you really need to know just the fundamentals of, and I got you up here, risk versus money required, just kind of the basics before you're getting into managing your trades, just understanding the risk rewards of those spreads. And folks, if you want to sign up, we put it right under. You go to TFNN.com. You'll see Nadex educational webinars under breaking news. You click there, you'll see that man John Skelton right there. 2 days from right now, 1 o'clock Eastern. I encourage people to check it out. John, thanks for coming on TFNN, man. We look forward to having you back on again soon.
Thanks
All
so
right,
much,
talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much.
Safe one.
Thanks, John.
All right, you too. Thanks, guys.
All right, folks, come on back. We'll be back. We got markets in positive territory on Tuesday. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender. Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Tommy O'Brien with Tom O'Brien. We get the Dow up 30 points. S&P's up 4. NASDAQ up 16. Russell up less than a point, but in positive territory. So this market's just kind of hanging on to positive territory so far, Tom. It's interesting. We'll see if we get a reaction one way or the other. Quite a reaction. Do you see that NASDAQ spike at about 1040 in terms of NASDAQ 100, that is? You saw some volatility off the opening bell, but, man, quite a spike to positive territory at about 940 in the morning for the NASDAQ 100. And we'll just see. I mean, after quite a day yesterday, NASDAQ down more than 2% at one point. And it would make sense. You have some volatility the day following that type of action.
And you know, it's amazing. As we had the spike, and it was a monster spike, by the way, folks, okay? It had gone from 70.61 popping up to 71.12.
Yes.
And as we say that, though, guess what? Look where we are.
Right.
70.80, right? Gives it right back. So it's pretty intense, man. In the context of how quick we just went back down another 32 points.
Yeah.
Amazing, actually.
No, both directions, right. I mean, I saw that bar at 940, and it was preceded with a positive bar. I mean, a negative bar, excuse me, as in market open for about 10 minutes, traded negative. You got like a 40-point spike to the upside in 5 or 10 minutes, and then retreating a bit. So I feel like the market's just trying to figure out what's going on as we ease into today.
And let's go take a look at some of the higher volume equities out here. So you got GE, that's the highest volume equity. It's up 78 cents. We got Intel down 80. You got Citigroup off 70. AK Steel's down 20. Apple's up 2. Lennar, they come out with numbers. We'll go over those. That's up 3. Big numbers. Netflix is up 12. So that's taken back 1/2 of what it went down yesterday. If we go over to Lennar, we'll take a look at Lennar. These, Lennar is up 2.5% right now. No, 5%. Up $3. So let's see. Lennar rallying after the home builder reported results that blew past expectations. The firm's first quarter since completing a 5.7 acquisition of Cal Atlantic Group. Second quarter revenue and earnings per share topped highest expectations. New home orders surged 62% from a year ago compared to 55 average. Concerns about rising interest rates and construction costs have been offset by low unemployment, increasing wages. Well, let's just take a look at this baby. So they definitely brought some bread to the bottom line.
Quite a year-over-year increase in terms of even the expectation being 55%, and they beat that number.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. And it's when you take a look at this, and we just take a look at the gross number for a second. Yeah. Wow. That's actually a monster number. I
think that's where they have that acquisition. This is the first quarter, so you see.
Thank you.
The
right.
2018 number a lot bigger than 2017.
Right.
Yeah.
They just went from $3 billion a quarter, folks, to $5.5 billion.
Yeah.
Big numbers, man.
Yeah.
Big numbers. So we'll see. The interest rate structure inside the home building business is a big deal. There's no doubt. It didn't hit them, right now, and the way that these notes have traded, we're still basically in pretty good shape. So it's going to be intriguing watching how this shakes out, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gold, I heard you a little bit earlier. Yeah, they hit gold this morning, folks. And what's going to get intriguing here is that, bottom line is that we get down to 1256. You're at 1259, and we did get some juice. We get some volume up at these 1261 areas. So we'll see whether it can basically, save itself. Thus far, each and every day, this has been a one-way move, and that one-way move is downtown.
That's quite a chart when you put it right there. Was that a daily we were looking at there?
That's a daily.
Yeah.
That's so picture. You go back to April 11th, you're at 1375.
Yeah, and it doesn't. You don't have to be a charting genius to draw that down channel that we're in right there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a one-way deal. Platinum. Let's go take a look at platinum. I know platinum. So we're at 870. Okay, well, this held the bottom today. We'll see. That's a one-way deal. Look at that. 6 months ago, you're at 1,037. That's also a one-way deal.
Definitely.
Bring that back a little bit more. Hey, and what's amazing is that silver, folks, is still the one that is staying inside its range. And that is so unusual, man. Silver is the one that just, I don't even trade silver because it's so volatile. Do you know what I mean? It's
do.
Just like, I don't want to wake up in the morning and have my brains blown out from, it's like, But guess what? It's held this low.
No, I mean, there's no down channel there. I mean, quite a drop that you had, what is that, a couple weeks ago when we went that one big day from 1750 almost down to below 1650. But outside of that, compared to the gold chart, which is, a huge downtrend channel on the daily.
Yes.
Platinum, big time. But silver, much different in terms of we're right where we were at the beginning of February, which is remarkable in terms of when you compare it to the gold chart and you compare it to even the platinum chart.
All right, there's no doubt, man.
Yeah.
So, and the broad market out here, folks, if we go look at the S&Ps, if you get this, I suspect what we're going to see here, you're going to see a sideways market, light volume, and that all that is that the market, it takes a huge amount of energy to go down like we went down yesterday or to go up 300 or 400 points.
Sure.
This is the building cause, the lull in between it. And the correlation will be, okay, if this baby just has light volume, that's showing that there's no buyers. There's no sellers right now also. That's something you better wrap your head around, folks, because building cause after a downdraft is really dangerous. Bottom line is that what's sticking out here like a sore thumb are still the lows of February 6th and February 9th. And those lows are pretty dramatic. If we look at the S&P, the S&P, that low, the cash S&P, we're 27.24. Well, that low is 25.32. It's 190 points down.
Yeah. That'd be quite a number.
Oh, my God. And if you go to the Qs, you look at the Qs, the Qs, that number is a monster, too. The Qs, we're talking 150 and we're at 171.
Yeah, much bigger number. In terms of that, you're talking about, you need 20. I mean, that's like an 11, 12% run, whereas where we were just in the S&Ps, I think you're only talking about a 6 to 7% decline from these levels.
Big numbers, man,
So, we have a call. We got our man Jim from Palm Harbor. Jim, good morning.
What's happening, Jim?
Good morning, guys.
How you doing?
How are y'all?
Doing good, man. Trying to stay cool in this Florida heat and humidity, but beyond that, staying all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I like the warmth. I came from the mountains of Tennessee, and I'm always not going to complain about the heat.
No, I'm not complaining. We're here for that. We're here for that heat from the Northeast too. It seems like it gets warmer and warmer every day though here in Florida during the summer. But you got to take the good with the bad, and man, we got it pretty good, all things considered, in terms of weather.
I sweat easier than I shiver. So,
I'm with you exactly. I'll take it any day of the week over shivering. I don't like that at all. Totally, man.
Plus, I heard the other day that the record high for Tampa is only 99.9 degrees, and in Tennessee, I had 105 before.
No, you're making a good point. We get a lot of heat. I say we in terms of Boston. Everywhere, they get the heat too, so we just get a reprieve during the winter, man. Jim, hang on for 2 seconds, all right? We're going to come back for the break. We're going to be talking about NVIDIA with Jim from Palm Harbor. Come on back, folks. We'll be right back.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We have the Dow of 27, S&Ps. We were just in negative territory, now flat, and NASDAQ positive by 11. And we're talking to Jim from Palm Harbor. We're going to be looking at NVIDIA. What are you looking at for NVIDIA, Jim?
I was wanting to get back into it again. I've been in and out of it a couple of times, but I was thinking, I wasn't sure if the 239 level or the 227 level's the better place to hold out for as far as getting back in it.
Yeah, I would, if we look at NVIDIA, I'm sure you've heard me talking about this high volume low. And the high volume low in NVIDIA from the February 6th is 204, Jim. The high of that low is 225. And the last time we were down here, we got to 210. I wouldn't be biting until you really try to get that test done. The market itself, there's many equities that have already gone down and tested that. There's plenty that haven't. I expect that's where we're going. And this NVIDIA may have just set up a big ABC down. Your A point would be 269, which would be the high. Your B would be yesterday, 235. So you got about $34. And if the C's today, you're down there. You're basically at 210. So I would just take your time on this,
Yeah, I really like NVIDIA. I like what their research in artificial intelligence, and they're into the cars and all these other things. They do their processors, the graphical processors are really good in the Bitcoin mining and all that because they can handle multiple inputs at the same time compared to a regular CPU. And I really like it a lot, but I knew I needed to wait. I just wasn't sure how long.
No, listen, I got these numbers up. These numbers, look at these numbers, Tommy. It's phenomenal.
I say there's almost nothing to point out negatively on that graphic. And just, Jim, I don't know if you're watching Tiger TV, we're looking at it in terms of their revenue, their earnings, their growth, just total revenue. You go from $5 billion in 2016 to $13 billion in 2019 they're looking for. And earnings, you just grow gangbusters, man, in terms of 2015, even 2016, you're making $1.67. In 2019, they're looking for almost $8 a share, and growth is just mammoth in terms of 28%, 38%, 30% across the board, just everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
And their stock price. I was just saying,
extreme.
their stock price reflects it, though. In fairness, I mean, it's going gangbusters, and their PE is nothing too crazy, 42. I'm not a analyst in the technology sector, but if they have any type of decent growth coming at them, that's not in terms of the likes of the Netflixes and so forth, where you get into the 100, 200 PE, where that's just very difficult and almost priced for perfection. Well, geez, as Tom pulls up Intel, they only have a PE at 12, and then Micron, my goodness, only a PE of 5. So the market is banking on the fact that NVIDIA still got some growth coming their way.
Yeah, so let's just see this revenue for Intel. Yeah, see the difference, though. Look at the difference. See, we put up Intel, folks, and it's a 12 PE, but the difference is that you have data center is growing, Internet of Things is growing, but not like NVIDIA, not even close.
I mean, the growths on NVIDIA were anywhere from 20 to 30% across the board, and realistically, Intel's biggest revenue is growing at a negative rate in terms of their top sector is $34 billion of revenue, and it has a 3-year growth rate of -1%, versus NVIDIA, that's just so much right in that graphics processing, which is just taken off, whether it's virtual reality, right, whether it's AI, whether it's Bitcoin mining. Processing speed is something to be in high demand, to put it lightly.
And also the car automation, and also AMD is going to be trying to compete on that GPUs too. So.
Yeah, no, and I think it seems to me that we have the car deal going, right? But AI in general seems to be like it was just born. It's like the baby steps, right? I mean, everything's going to be. Everyone's going to want to get into AI because, I mean, it's proven that, guess what? The computers can do a better job than we do.
Oh, yeah.
So
you're going to walk in your house, right? And Alexa's already going to know that you like to switch on your kitchen light first. Then you might go to the bathroom to brush your teeth. It's like it's going to have all that figured out. And how it's going to have it figured out is just computing power. And I think that, it's been around for a bit, Tom, but you're right. In the public perception-wise, the Googles already know what's happening. They're into it. Facebook's into it. But you're going to see it more pervasive in our lifestyle, and you're going to start seeing it, I believe, in just smaller companies, as in you're not going to have to be a FANG stock to start plowing money into that type of development where it's just going to be across the board, whether you're either competing or you're falling to the wayside.
Yeah, pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
And that'll help those companies, definitely.
Great time
I really
to be alive
appreciate your
and kicking.
inputs. Thanks a lot, and y'all have a great day.
One, Jim.
Good to hear
Okay,
from you,
man.
Jim. Thanks for calling. From beautiful Palm Harbor. I tell you, not to complain about it, but man, I was hot in the humidity today, Tom. I walked down to Starbucks this morning, and I feel like every day I'm like, I think today's the hottest day we've had so far. But you know what? It's probably not the hottest day. It just might be a little bit more humid than maybe.
It's cool. So I get that. I was out this morning, and what happens, folks, is that early morning is great anyway, but I was out at like 6 o'clock, and it felt great because I was back in by 8.
It is nice. That's what we were down the beach last Friday night, right, heading with our friends Eddie and Eve, and that was beautiful too. Same deal. If you're outside, you have a little bit of an ocean breeze, and the sun is not beating on your head, you're okay.
Yeah.
You're okay.
It's the sun in Florida. There's no doubt.
It's the sun in most places right now, but in seriousness, I mean, it's a different kind of heat when you get that sun, for sure.
Beaten.
So,
So,
the Dow is negative.
Yeah. Bottom line is that this market, wants lower price. And, the variations are going to be pretty intense watching how we got through this trading day out here. Inside the Dow, the culprit, taking points away from it is, look at this.
I was going to say, I know.
The first day it's in there, Walgreens.
What's up with that?
It's the leader on the way down. It's down $1.41. Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
It is. Only hilarious if you're not a Walgreens shareholder. But no, I agree. It's pretty almost ironic that you'd have the day after you have GE skyrocketing and you have Walgreens down pretty dramatically.
yeah.
Can you jump to the news to them? I'm just curious
Yes.
whether there's actually anything. I mean, I'm sure there's some selling, but in terms of just the underlying.
Nope,
Nope.
not really.
Not really at
They're
all.
just selling it. Bottom line.
Pretty remarkable.
Yeah, you know, you more than likely what you said, you had people getting in it, right? You know, because they knew it was getting in the Dow.
Yes, yes.
And now it's like, okay, it's in the Dow. What are you going to do for me now?
And I saw in there, I think they have earnings maybe coming on Thursday, so that'll be interesting to put some fuel in the fire in a couple days.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
7 o'clock in the morning. You know, let's go into the NDX and see what we have happening inside the NDX. So, leader today inside the NDX, you get Netflix up 2.8. INCY is down 6%. Walgreens is in the index too. Interesting, down 2%. Vertex is down 2%. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I are coming right back.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A share bull and bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Think or Swim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors. Learn how to trade options with swim lessons. Brought to you by TD Ameritrade Think or Swim. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. We got the Dow up 1 point. No, excuse me. Dow up 28 points. S&P's up 1 point, and NASDAQ positive by 16. Just kind of hanging out where we've been most of the hour. Oil with some volatility as well today, Tom. Be interesting to see. You get the API tonight during your program at 4:30, and then of course we'll get that EIA number tomorrow at 10:30 during our program. But oil, man, you want a volatile market. Dollar up, dollar down, all the way, every day, it seems.
and Saudi Arabia, that this came out when we were on the air.
Okay.
Riyadh is said to plan to pump 10.8 million barrels a day. Saudi Arabia is planning to pump a record amount of crude in July, embarking on one of the biggest ever export surges to cool down the oil prices, according to people briefed on the country's output policy. That's pretty wild. And they come out with that, and it still really hasn't moved oil that far down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because part of what they talk about in there is that so OPEC made the deal to increase by about 1 million barrels a day. But what they also talked about is that some of the players in that OPEC deal won't be able to ramp up the production to even reach that 1 million barrels a day. So that's what I was saying. Maybe it's going to increase about 600 to 700,000 barrels a day, just because they, and some of the smaller players, not necessarily the Saudis, can't just ramp up production immediately to where, you got to put things in place. You have to, and so maybe that's the Saudis realizing that they need to pick up the slack. And maybe that's the market saying, guess what? The Saudis are just going to be able to pick up the slack from what was talked about. And maybe that they might actually reach the 1 million, maybe. But as we saw last week, they came out with that.
Every day you pump that much oil?
Pretty cool,
God.
man. Pretty cool.
Seriously. Unreal.
Definitely.
Unreal.
That was a quick hour, man. Quick hour. We'll see where the market leads us, for sure.
Totally. Stay right there, folks. We get swim lessons coming up next. Then we get on, Mr. Basil Chapman, Steve Rhodes, Dave White. I'll be back this afternoon. Tommy, thanks so much.
Thanks,
Have a great
man.
one. Safe one.
You as well.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.